There was a man called Robert, who was a dancer. He was well known across the whole world for being one of the greatest dancers alive. Nonetheless, as many people loved him, many others hated him. One of the people who hated him the most was his boss, who was always under his shades and was growing tired of him. One night, after one of the best performances of Robert's career, his boss grew so jealous of him that attempted to murder him by stabbing him in the heart with a kitchen knife.
Fortunately, Robert stayed alive long enough for the paramedics to arrive and he was taken to the hospital where he was saved. Despite being alive, Robert had suffered great damage and his body was still recovering from his injuries.
During his moments of delirium, he spotted a beautiful woman, more beautiful than he had ever seen. In that moment, he knew that his destiny was to find her and be with her. He had to search each and every corner of the world until he could find her.
As soon as he was able to walk again, Robert began a journey looking for that charming woman he had dreamed with. He took a bicycle and cycled 300 kilometers looking for her. He was exhausted that he passed out in front of a farm on the side of the road.
Robert woke up to an old couple who seemed so kind at first. They were the owners of the farm. The couple gave him food, clothing, and a place to sleep. Little did Robert know that the couple were in reality two prolific serial killers who had murdered hundreds of tourists who happened to wander across their lands.
Robert ran away from the elderly killers into the woods, having to hide from them for 2 days before they stopped searching for him.
One day later, Robert ran into a group of soldiers. These soldiers had been overwhelmed by the enemy days before and had a very low morale. The soldiers gave Robert food and water, and Robert, who was a dancer, taught them how to dance and sing like he used to.
These dances and songs that Robert had taught them boosted their morale so much that they ended up easily obliterating the enemy.
After the war ended, Robert went to the land where the soldiers came from. It was a very beautiful land. All the streets were full of massive, colorful buildings with astonishingly beautiful gardens.
As beautiful as these places were, Robert recalled what the real reason behind his journey was. The lady he had dreamt of, the most beautiful woman of all.
Robert kept searching for her in the land where he was. It wasn't always easy to keep focus on his search with such beautiful and colorful landscapes that took his breath away. He kept searching for her in the whole city for days and weeks, but he wasn't able to find her.
One day, Robert decided it was time to cut his losses and go back home. He left town heartbroken for not having found the woman of his dreams. Suddenly, just as he was near a group of windmills in the outskirts of the town, he found her.
He saw a beautiful woman dressed in red, but something was odd. He couldn't see her face. Robert ran towards her, sure that she was the woman he had been looking for. The moment he got to her, they kissed. The kiss didn't last for very long because Robert wanted to contemplate the woman's face. She agreed to show him her face, but in the moment she was about to lift her veil, Robert woke up.
Robert awoke next to his mother. Turns out he had been laying on a hospital bed the whole time, and all the journey had been nothing but a dream. His mother reminded him what had happened. Turns out he had murdered his wife with a knife during a psychotic episode when she was taking a bath. Then he had rolled her up with a rug and buried her in their garden.
The moment he became aware of what he had done, he fell apart. It is said he lost complete contact with reality. Some others said he began another journey within himself, or maybe to another place humanity hasn't yet learned about. Some others say he just ceased existing right then and there.